Hey guys, my name is Sam,
and my name is Dom.
And in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we are going to be discussing 10 things we want to see in Gunrunning Part 2.
Now, it may have only been a few weeks since the Gunrunning update was released, but there are rumours that a Part 2 is in the works and lined up to be GTA Online's next update.
If you guys have been keeping up to date with all the latest GTA news over the past few weeks, you may have heard some of the leaked information regarding Rockstar's future plans for the next update. And supposedly, if Gunrunning was successful, which it was, they'd make a Part 2.
Now, it's unlikely to be named Gunrunning Part 2, but it'll essentially be exactly that, with a very similar theme, just more content. So we have compiled a list of 10 things we and the community want to see in a Gunrunning Part 2.
So let's get straight into things, and to start things off, I think it's safe to say something which we were all hoping for in Part 1, but unfortunately wasn't added, is a new tank. Now currently the Rhino tank is the only tank available in GTA 5, and although players hate the other players who drive around in them, we all love driving them around ourselves. There's definitely plenty of potential to receive at least one other, if not a few other variants, so a new tank is definitely something we'd like to see in Gunrunning Part 2, offering an alternative to the only other tank in-game right now. Just imagine having tank battles between friends or randomers in free mode, and of course a number of adversary modes Rockstar could create through having just more than one tank.
Now, Rockstar have added plenty of special vehicles in GTA Online over the past 3 months that have often been inspired by vehicles featured in mainstream movies, such as the ramp car from Fast and Furious and the Ruiner 2000, which of course was Kit in Knight Rider. So an awesome suggestion that we've seen numerous comments about would be a submarine car. A car that both works as a land vehicle but also a submarine when driven in water, much like the Lotus Esprit from James Bond. We may already have 3 vehicles in the game which are amphibious, but we're yet to receive a vehicle that's special ability is to actually submerge and operate underwater. This vehicle would also feature weapons such as a machine gun up front hidden in the bumper, much like the Torero. This vehicle could also have a torpedo launcher, which would have the ability of firing rockets on land and torpedoes in water.
Now this next suggestion, I admit, is inspired by one of my favourite games, Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Basically, I'm referring to the RCXD, and if any of you guys have played Black Ops 1, as I'm sure you guys would agree, it's one of the best things in the multiplayer. So basically, the RCXD is an RC car with a C4 strapped to the roof. And although at first this may sound like something which Rockstar would never add into the game, let's face it, with flying bikes and cars with rocket engines, anything at this point is possible. And personally isn't as far-fetched as you might think. And just like the Juggernaut suit, it's something which you need to buy from the Warstock Cash and Carry website, and something which you wouldn't store in your garage, but instead request by selecting it in the interactive menu, just like you would with the Juggernaut suit. The RCXD will then be delivered via a crate drop, and you'll then be given the option to begin operating it once it lands. Now of course, to prevent it from being overpowered, it would have a limited range. After all remote controllers don't have an unlimited range on them, and obviously once you've used it, you'd have to wait a set amount of time before you can call in another. But I'm sure you guys get the point, and I think it's an awesome idea, one which I've briefly talked about in live streams and received much positive feedback from you guys.
So up next is a suggestion which again I think we can all agree would be an awesome addition to GTA Online. So we already have the option to purchase our very own underground bunker, but what about a hangar at the military base or airport? There are a number of unused hangars that could potentially be used for this purpose, and would certainly open up a load of possibilities. For starters, giving us the chance to purchase a fleet of new aircrafts and store them at the hangar, along with other special vehicles. Also a mod shop to customize these aircrafts for the first time. And of course, we'd be able to use these hangars for the production or store of stock, which leads us to the next thing we need in this update.
That being more activities that actually make us money, ideally without waiting around for hours for stock to be made. Now, similarly to how the import and export feature works in GTA Online, where you can source a vehicle, go and steal it, and return to your warehouse where it can be modified and sold to buyers, imagine that, but with a military theme. The hangars could be used as storage for the stolen vehicles, with facilities to modify and then sell them to the highest bidder. This was simply add to the previous update as the import and export update did to the executives and other criminals update, by adding to the gunrunning activities. And let's be honest, there isn't really a huge amount of activities in the Gunrunning update that can be done which doesn't involve waiting around for hours whilst your staff autonomously make stock. So sourcing and stealing military vehicles from Merryweather, the military base, and places like that would be a pretty cool activity to do alongside the current Gunrunning work. And maybe there'd also be an option to build the vehicles too, rather than just stealing them, by purchasing the necessary parts and having your staff build them. This of course would take longer, but would give you newer, better, and more expensive vehicles to sell at a higher price. Again, I'm sure you guys get the point, there are loads of things that can be done with this.
So in Gunrunning Part 1, one of the main features other than the underground bunker is of course the Mobile Operations Center. I think it's safe to say that the MOC was an amazing addition, and pretty much everyone, including us, loves the concept behind it. So hopefully Rockstar will build upon this and add even more vehicles to the game offering the same or similar abilities. One suggestion that we've had would be to add in a mobile operations plane. Think about it. So like the cargo plane or something similar that can be used in a very similar manner to the MOC. So we'd have the option to request it via the interactive menu, and it would spawn in the nearest airfield for us. Obviously, we want this aircraft to firstly have the ability to allow vehicles to be taken inside for either storage or modification. Branching from this, imagine being flown around whilst you're in one of the vehicles inside the plane, then being jettisoned out of the plane with a parachute attached to the car. So you'd be falling from the plane and launch out the parachute, and bam, you're right in the middle of everything. Again, this being something inspired by several movies, including Fast and Furious. The MOP, Mobile Operations Plane, would tie in nicely to our previous suggestion of owning a hangar at the airport or military base, and this is where the plane would be stored whilst not in use. The MOP could also be used in the sourcing and selling of military parts and vehicles, again another suggestion made previously.
Now it's time to talk military hardware. Now you guys are always leaving comments regarding your requests for more weapons in GTA Online. And rather surprisingly, Rockstar didn't add any new weapons in the Gunrunning update, but instead a number of weapon upgrades, which in fairness was still pretty cool, but not quite what we were looking for. Still, there are loads of really cool weapons we'd all like to see in GTA Online, and I'm sure you guys have plenty of your own requests. There are, however, several weapons in the game already which still aren't available online. For starters, the railgun. It's available in story mode and a few online game modes, but it's still not something which you can purchase in free mode. Then of course there's the stun gun and the XM25 grenade launcher and the other cut beta weapons, like the Browning LMG. These are all things we'd all like to see in the game at some point, and then of course there's the other suggestions such as a chainsaw and a shovel. Again, these are both props in the game already, and it wouldn't take a huge amount of work for Rockstar to make these official weapons in-game available down at the ammunition.
Now, something which I've always thought that GTA Online was always lacking was the ability to customize Pegasus vehicles. It was limiting enough not being able to store them as personal vehicles, but fortunately with the past few updates, the special vehicles which typically would have been classified as Pegasus vehicles have been storable. There are plenty of existing Pegasus vehicles which are still really cool, but still aren't storable or customizable. So please, Rockstar, give us the ability to store and customize all Pegasus vehicles in GTA Online. Now, of course, some vehicles, like the dump truck, are far too big to be stored in a regular garage. So a separate storage area would be required, which is where our previous comment, the hangar at the airport or military base, comes into play perfectly.
So there we go then guys, with that being said, those are 10 things that we want to see in Gunrunning Part 2 if it ever becomes a thing. Now I'm sure you guys have plenty of your own ideas and suggestions, and we of course want to hear about these things, so definitely go ahead and leave a comment right now and let me know what you guys would like to see in a Gunrunning Part 2 DLC. If you guys have any suggestions or changes as well to things we've already said in this video, again, let us know by leaving a comment. Surprisingly, this style of video is something watched by Rockstar, so who knows if Rockstar like the suggestions made in this video or in the comments section, we might eventually see some of these things making their way into GTA Online. Now, if you guys have enjoyed this video, definitely go ahead and drop a like. It is, of course, greatly appreciated, and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would recommend that you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. And of course, if you guys have enjoyed this dual-com, let us know by leaving a comment. With that being said though, guys, thank you so much for watching.
And we'll see you guys next time.